If you hear me!
What's happening, good people, and welcome back to another episode of Holla If You Hear Me's From the Vault with me, your humble host Fraz, the kayfabe assassin, Mr. Andy Nero, and the ring historian himself, Dirty Dave. Now, if you have not been here before, this is where Dave takes us down memory lane and teaches us some valuable wrestling history. But before we get into it, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're new to the channel so you don't miss a beat. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it.
Good evening, everyone, or good morning, or good afternoon, depends when you're watching us. But for a point of reference, I need to tell you that we are actually recording on the 6th of August. So what I've done this week, because although we had a fantastic SummerSlam weekend, there's not many SummerSlams happen at the beginning of August. They traditionally used to happen towards the end. So there actually isn't a massive amount of SummerSlam news this week, from this week in wrestling history. So what I've done is I've looked at the first 8 days of August, and I've got some key facts that I think you'll all hopefully like, ranging from 1986 to maybe even some TNA stuff in 2011, which I think might interest Fraz and Andy, so maybe I'll finish on that one. How are you two boys anyway? You all alright?
Full of cold, mate.
Have you recovered from SummerSlam?
Nope. Not even slightly.
Alright.
I'm living the dream. I'm very excited. I think there might be mention of one Kurt Angle, Olympic hero, and that should be in every single Vault episode. There you go, that's a challenge for you.
Lose Kurt Angle from every single Vault. Okie dokie. Alright, well look, we'll get started. Because the longer I leave you waiting, the anticipation will just build too much and you won't be able to handle it. So, how about we start with the 1st of August. Beautiful. It's officially summer. August is great. It's hot. It's SummerSlam season. Well, in 1994, on Raw, a live Raw, the live Raw where they turned around and said that Vince had been acquitted and was innocent and not guilty for his steroid trial, which they made quite a big song and dance about, Shawn Michaels returned to the ring for the first time since WrestleMania 10. And he took on Razor Ramon, who, funnily enough, was the last person he fought at WrestleMania 10. Yep, it was Shawn Michaels' first match because he hurt his back after the ladder match. They went almost 40 minutes on Raw, and Shawn Michaels gets the win. And, of course, the build-up to that year's SummerSlam was Diesel and Razor Ramon for the Intercontinental title. But, yeah, absolutely epic match on Raw. I would highly recommend you go back and watch that. That was back in the days when the main event of Raw used to be on first, so that they could run as long as they wanted to, and whatever happened after that, they'd just muck about with. But that was good. Great start to August, great start to summer, and it leads to a really good match that I know Raz loved, Razor Ramon and Diesel at SummerSlam 94, so that is a really good tune-up for you, my man. But one for Andy, if we go to 2006, CM Punk. No, he doesn't win a title, but he does debut on ECW. See, interesting, isn't it? I've got some birthdays for you. Little bit good because we've just had a TLC match. Devon Dudley was born on the 1st of August in 1972. He's not 72, he was just born in 1972. And Harry Smith, son of the British Bulldog, born in 1985. That's right, Fraz, he's younger than us. That's disgusting, isn't it?
Same age as Wallard, though.
Can you imagine being at school with Wallard and Harry was in his class? That'd be incredible.
I thought you were going to say, imagine those two had a match.
That could work. That could work.
Yeah. That
could definitely work. But no, I always had a soft spot for Harry. I think his time is running out, though. I don't think he's going to come back. I would love to see him back, but I don't think he's going to come back. And you look poised to say something there.
Yeah.
He's had historical behavioural or attitude issues throughout everything. Although that being said, according to most people who watch or insiders at IWGP, New Japan, they say he's good. So who knows?
Who knows? We'll never. I don't think we're ever going to see him again in WWE. But this is what it is. How about the 2nd of August then? I'll take you all the way back to 1962. I know that's pretty scary, but the only reason I've gone that far back is because Bruno Sammartino beat Buddy Rogers for the NWA title. They're two really famous people names in wrestling. So the original Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, and obviously Bruno Sammartino. So they're pretty famous. But then I wanted to jump 30 years to 1992 to WCW. Lex Luger is your world champion. That's how bad things got, by the way. But how could we make things better? That's right. We make Farouk the first African-American heavyweight champion. Ron Simmons, spinebuster, cheers bye, and wins the title from Lex Luger.
Damn.
Beautiful.
So two massive title changes 30 years apart on the exact same day, which actually, when you say it like that, was pretty cool. And this is one for Fraz, but Andy will also appreciate it. Don't you like a certain Austin Theory?
I believe I do, yeah.
Well, I think you need to mark this in your calendar. We have just missed it, but it is the 2nd of August. Austin Theory was born in 1997 on the 2nd of August. So there you go. We will have to bust that out. And forever he will be known because on the 3rd of August, SummerSlam 1997 came from the Continental Airlines Arena in New Jersey, which was New Jersey where this year's SummerSlam came from. And of course, that SummerSlam is famous for Austin breaking his neck. So Austin Theory was born, and then 24 hours later, Austin breaks his neck.
Owen Hart.
Yeah,
the pole driver, yeah.
The tombstone that went drastically wrong. But of course,
that was the man that broke Stone Cold Steve Austin's neck.
That's the man.
Didn't he make a t-shirt up about that?
Yeah, Owen316 says, I just broke your neck. And then he changed his music to have like an ambulance siren at the beginning of it as well, which is quite cool. But of course, that's where Bret Hart won his 5th WWF title, but we won't talk too much about that because apparently Bret gets too much airtime. Interesting.
Very long either.
A fantastic opening match was a steel cage match, one of only 5 at SummerSlam history, by the way. Mankind, who was fighting Triple H, or Hurst Helmsley, isn't he? But he turned into Dude Love on the top of the cage, ripped his shirt, and done a fantastic Jimmy Snuka elbow off the top of the cage, and then won the match. But yeah, really good match. So SummerSlam 97, actually really good SummerSlam. COVID, though, wasn't so good, was it, in 2020? And on August 3rd, it got made worse by Shane McMahon. Unfortunately, it was the debut of Raw Underground.
Fucking hell.
Yep. So, we'll sort of let it breathe. I think we'll just move on to August the 4th, unless anyone really wants to talk about Raw Underground. The highlight of August the 4th, the man of 1,000 holds. Do you know that man?
The Iceman.
The Iceman. Dean Malenko was born in 1960. There was a few other bits of wrestling during August, but they were all rubbish, in my opinion, so I've left that. So we can move on to the 5th of August, and somewhat fitting, because last week we had a bit of a tribute show to someone who died, and one of his entrance themes is pretty synonymous. It's called Real American. In 1947, the man who made that, along with other people's music like Demolition, etc., Rick Derringer, he was born. So it's a little sort of wrestling celebrity connection, but also everybody's favourite luchador, Sin Cara, who we all remember was an absolute success on so many levels. This is the original Sin Cara, was born in 1977. That's right, he was old when he debuted in WWE. That's probably why it didn't work. He was too old to figure out how a trampoline worked to get in on his entrance, bless him. Poor little sausage. 6th of August, and in the build-up to SummerSlam 93, when everyone's like, oh my god, it's Hulk Hogan versus Bret Hart. No, it's not. Hulk Hogan's lost to Yokozuna. The WWF goes on a massive European tour, and Hulk Hogan has his last WWF match until 2002 when he returned with the NWO. Yep, Hulk Hogan right here in England, in Sheffield, in a sold-out Sheffield arena in front of 11,000 people, actually beat the WWF champion Yokozuna, but it was by disqualification. But yeah, so interesting match. But no, unfortunately, that was the end, and he wasn't used on TV again for WWF until 2002. Still think we could have done a bit more with Hogan in '93, but is what it is. Now, the 7th of August. This, you should remember this, people. Take yourself back to 2001, Andy. Take yourself back to the invasion angle. Take yourself back to SmackDown.
Oh.
Do you remember the stage before the big
Is
fist?
this Rhino and Jericho?
It's Rhino! Gore!
Gore!
That's right.
Yes, mate.
Rhino gores Chris Jericho through the SmackDown stage. It's the old stage that looked like a weird planet type thing, like Saturn or something, the rings. Spears him through the projector screen. This would be the last ever SmackDown show with that stage, and really helped build their match to SummerSlam 2001 at the time. But also 2 massive title changes on that SmackDown. It was a bit of a weird one. Diamond Dallas Page, and who better than Kanyon, won the WWF Tag Team Championships from the APA. But not to be undone, the Brothers of Destruction came out a little bit later on, The Undertaker and Kane, and they won the WCW Tag Team Championships from Chuck Palumbo and Shawn O'Hare. Yeah, and that would set up a title unification steel cage match. One of 5 steel cage matches in SummerSlam history, by the way. I've already mentioned one, Mick Foley and Triple H. A sort of tornado tag steel cage match at SummerSlam for both belts. So there you go. A pretty monumental way to end that stage and that run of SmackDown before we would be joined by the Giant Fist the following week. Yes. Okay. No famous birthdays there, but, well, there's one. But I didn't get her year of birth, because you know how I think it's just rude to ask a lady how old she is? But it's a bit fitting, seeing as something to do with SummerSlam and someone returning. Sable, that's her birthday on the 7th of August. I don't know how old she is, like I said, I didn't check her age. I didn't want to, but yeah. Loved Sable back in the day, 98, 99, she got some incredible pops, and then she went a bit mad, and then she came back, she was alright, but not quite the same. Hey-ho. But the one I've left you boys waiting on, steaming on, that might be the wrong term actually, it's 2011, it's TNA, it's the Olympic gold medal winner, Kurt Angle, and he wins the world title from Sting, and is it Hard Justice, I think the pay-per-view is called,
Hard
or something
Justice
like that?
It would have been,
Yeah, Hard
Hardcore
Justice.
eventually.
Or yes, that's right. August the 7th, Kurt Angle beats Sting, wins the TNA title. So I thought you would both like that. So I'm going to stop on the 7th. I'm not going to give you the 8th. I'll give you the 8th next week, because that's just too much of a high to finish on for you boys, Kurt Angle and Sting and TNA. So sorry, I actually went a bit indie there, but I thought that'd be a nice way to finish.
You can't top Kurt Angle, so there you go.
You absolutely can't. It's true. It's damn true.
Especially in that ring attire.
Magic.
Well, there you go, boys.
So,
that's a little education for you. But yes, it's an interesting one, because you'd think it would be more important this week, but actually it's not, because normally we're just coming off a pay-per-view on the end of July, and this would be the first week of TV building to SummerSlam. So yeah, that's the best I've got for you this week, gents. It'll only get better.
Yeah, well, for me, one of the best from the vaults we've had so far, purely down to Austin Theory being born this week. So thank you once again. I hope you've all learned a valuable lesson here. Yeah, that
There'll be a
Kurt
pop
Angle,
quiz later.
yeah, Kurt Angle is the man and wins wherever he goes. With that, please, I implore you to comment on the video. Correct Dave if he's wrong. Praise him if he's correct. I mean, it's very rare that he's wrong. And if he's missed any facts out from this week, lots of love. Please like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next episode of From the Vault.
Boom.
Du-du-du-du-du-du-du.